Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here, and doing a video on the move. A couple of things I'm going to be bringing up here. I'm going to be talking about what's happening in Ballymena in Northern Ireland. I'm going to be talking about, quickly talking about what's happened with the budget, what it means to us, and with a wee bit of evidence. So bear with this one. But first of all, to the people of Northern Ireland, especially Ballymena, as everybody now knows over here, that the two children involved in were charged with the sexual crimes of the other children have been dropped. And there's a lot of anger, an awful lot of anger. There's a lot of questions wanting asked and stuff like that. And like anybody that's doing this, anybody on social media is getting a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And I can tell just how far this stuff's getting moved about that, people are very angry. So has everybody around me, you know, that's been doing this for a long time can tell you with certainty that this has all been done. The timing of this is perfect, and this has been happening in England, and we've seen this kind of thing happening, and it's a creative reaction from people on the streets to get people to come out, be violent, and cause trouble. And this is what they want. This is what their goal is, because, like I keep on saying, that's the only way we can lose is by being violent. I'm not going to say that one day our children might have a different opinion to me. My daughter and my great grandchildren might look back at me and thought we should have maybe done some more. I don't know, but as far as I can see, with what I've learned from what I've been doing for the last 14, 15 years, is, wasn't very closely of the United Kingdom that I love so much, and so I can tell you with certainty, this has definitely been brought out today. This is the timing because of the protests that are happening tomorrow in the city centre. And, they are hoping to get an adverse reaction from our community. And I just want to reiterate everything that I've been saying. This one thing that I've been saying since, well, for the last year, we're clever prods. Times have changed. We're learning a lot. We're seeing different things happening in Northern Ireland that we never thought would happen, i.e. two communities coming together, whether they're not all together, but they're coming together in different aspects of life. Protestants and Catholics are coming together for the first time. So, yeah, that's my advice as a citizen journalist, somebody, a patriot who's been doing this for a long time. This is the kind of reaction that they want. They want violence. They want you to kick off, and then they will come down hard on all of us, and that's their way of silence is, you know what I mean? This is what I say, their weapon is to silence us. Our weapon is to get louder, and that doesn't mean violence. There's many ways to skin a cat, guys, and so yeah, I'll leave that one with you, and that's my advice to the patriots that follow me. The second thing I want to talk about quickly is, yes, the two cap. I go on about the two cap a lot. We need to get rid of the two cap. So lo and behold, they've took away the two cap. The problem we have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in British Loader. I talk about him quite a lot. I know he wouldn't mind me taking a wee clip, and I'm going to let him explain it to you.
Announcement on welfare spending, which I found particularly interesting, because Labour have just lifted the cap on child benefits. Until today, you could only claim child benefit for 2 children, but Labour have just removed that cap, so if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 children, you can now claim child benefit for all of them. And I'll say this, I do understand that any nation needs people and it needs children, otherwise the nation itself will collapse. So you want to encourage people to have children. But here's the problem I have with this specific piece of spending. If you take a look at the different ethnic groups in our society, you'll notice across fertility rates and employment rates, there are some pretty big disparities. So this, to me, starts to look like a tax on white British people to pay for and subsidise not white British people who tend to have larger families. Look, that's just the reality, and I'm sure I'll get lots of accusations about that, but those are the brutal facts. And to me, you're kind of therefore making the white British people pay for their own demographic replacement, which is completely inexcusable. So no, I don't support this policy, and I would love to see it scrapped. I know that the Reform Party support this policy as well, by the way, and I just can't understand that at all. There is a salient difference, by the way, between the way that Reform wanted to do this and the way that Labour have done it. Reform said that they would only lift it for working parents. So if you are a working couple and you've got 3 children, then you can claim child benefit on the 3rd child. Well, not so with Labour. It doesn't matter if you're working or not. Okay, so if you're both unemployed parents, you can now just claim more in child benefits. It's just...
So there you have it. That's the problem that we have. We have a situation where we are not having children and they are. So the average is 1.1, 1.5, 1.5 to their 3 to 4. And in most cases, you know, these are average, but in most cases, quite a lot of these families, there'll be 6, 7, maybe 8 in a family. So instantly, they're all going to be getting benefits. On top of that, it's going to encourage more people to come. You know, if you want to have a big, massive family, like, you know, like they do, like quite a lot of cultures like to have big families. Well, where would you go in the world if you were wanting to have a family right now? And believe it or not, this is the one place in the world if you want to come and have a big family and not worry about money. You know, the whole thing about what's going on right now with social benefits, I will do that in a deeper video because, you know, I'm quite maybe controversial. Not everybody will like what I have to say, but I'm always be honest and give you what I see, what, you know, my personal opinion of the benefit system and everything else. But what's going on here with the benefit system is they're trying to get everybody on benefits. You know, they're making it so it's worthwhile not to go to work. You know, if you're making three grand a month, you know what I mean, 3 benefits, then the incentive to work, it isn't there any longer, and that's what they're wanting. And this is where the digital ID comes in, because universal credit is digital, and then it'll go onto your digital currency where they'll control what money you've got and what money, where you can spend it and all the rest of it. So that's got arms and legs. That's a completely other video. So basically, guys, we're on the move. We're heading to the boat. I know we're going to pick somebody up, and you'll meet him very shortly. You'll meet him tonight, hopefully in the live. So most of you know who it is, but the rest of you just have to keep guessing. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I was going to bring a better video, but we're on the move, constantly working away. We've got patriotic media as well, down looking at something right now. So that'll probably come. I'll let you know when if she gets any film or she finds any information we get about what's going on, where she is right now, then I'll be bringing that these later on the night. So I'm Freedom Dad, and as always, God bless.